My name is Jose Rios. I'm in FMT 123. I'll be demonstrating this elevator to show error codes when there's a malfunction while it's running in automatic. So what we'll do is we'll start off with error number 1. So we'll run the unit in automatic up and down to make sure that it works. That's up. And that's down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to generate a fault 1 for loss of power. We just faulted out, and the text should read error 1, loss of voltage, loss of power supply loss, 24 volts. Check the power supply is energized. Check power supply LED. Check the wiring. So we found a loose wire, so we're putting it back. We cannot reset the fault in automatic. We have to go to manual. So we go over to manual. We clear the fault. Go back to automatic. And we should finish going up to the top. We'll bring it back home, start the next test. Now we're going to demonstrate the proximity switches on the unit cannot both be on at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to fail one of the switches to be on when it shouldn't be. There, we should have got a fault. The fault should read that both the home and the top procs are on at the same time. We're in automatic and it will not start. So now we have to clear that fault. I did provide a provision so that in case you do have a fault, you have to move the elevator, you can override all this in manual. So we can go up, go manual, go up, and go down. But it will not work in automatic. So we have to clear the fault. The fault gets cleared in manual. We clear it. It's cleared. I'll go back to automatic. And it should run. Okay, it's at the top. Now it's at the bottom, so the elevator is all reset now. We're back to automatic and running good. So now we're going to create a third fault, and that's going to be a relay fault. And the way I'm going to do that is simulate it while it's just sitting there. But maybe what we could do is fail it. So we'll try that. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and go in the up position, and we should get a relay 1 fault. Okay, there's our fault, error 4. Relay 1, input did not change states when relay 1 was energized. Check relay 1 or check wiring. I actually pulled the relay while it was running and it failed. So that simulated a failed relay. We're going to replace the relay. We're going to go to, right now since we're kind of have people stuck in the air, we're going to go ahead and bring them down. We're in manual still. We cannot bring them down in automatic. It won't work. So we go to manual. We're going to bring them down. We can override this fault in manual. And then we go clear the fault. Fault's cleared. And we can run up the unit in automatic now. Go back to automatic. Let go of the button. Now it's running. So So that's our test cycle. Now it's going back down. We have one more fault that we're going to simulate, and that's going to be an encoder loss. Encoder loss will be this mechanism right there. When this unit runs, I'll demonstrate. It's counting pulses to check speed and how far it's traveled. So that gives us our pulses to make sure that we have the motor spinning at the right time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to automatic. And we're going to fail that encoder pulse and see if we get a signal. We should have an error for this. Get set up. Here we go. There, we got a fault before it got to the top. There should be a fault there. Fault says encoder anomaly. Check the wiring. Encoder proximity switch, motor or gear assembly, and hoist cable. So those are things we should be checking. What I found was a loose wire on the encoder, and now it's not working. So with that fault, I cannot keep moving in automatic. It dropped out in automatic. So what we'll do now is repair it. So I'm fixing the broken wire. I'm going to go to manual mode, clear the fault, and then we should be able to go back to auto and then finish going all the way up or down. I'd prefer to bring them down at this point. So there. Now the unit's down. The last fault that we're going to demonstrate is going to be an emergency stop. So we'll be going up. I'll press stop. So we have an emergency stop fault. Cannot move in automatic or in manual. That prohibits all movement. So we have to clear it. So in manual, we clear the fault. We have to pull out the stop button first, make sure everything's okay. Then we can clear it. And then in manual mode, you can run it down or go back to auto and run it down all the way. So that concludes my presentation for the use of error codes and faults and messaging, and how the message tells you what to go look for, and it takes you in a direction of how to troubleshoot the elevator. So thank you very much.